Hey everybody, it's been a while since I've jumped on live, so I just wanted to step in and give you a little update today. I wanted to share a quote actually that really touched me. A good friend, April, had given me this frame, and in the frame it has a quote and it says, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs, ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go and do that, because that is what the world needs, is more people who have come alive." I love this quote, and it's by Howard Thurman. So the whole theme is come alive. All right, so today's topic, I heard once, and I think it was on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, she had said, there's 2 days that are most important in your life. The day that you're born, and then the day that you find out why. For me, the find out why, I've been soul searching for the last 2 years since I turned 40. I don't know if any of you can relate, but what is it about turning 40 and then kind of reflecting on your life and where you've been and then kind of like where you want to go? And if you're anything like me, I've been doing a lot of soul searching and trying to identify what is my natural strengths or zone of genius or my why. What brings me to that place of where I feel alive. And so today I'm going to share with you a couple of things that has helped me to figure out what I should be focusing on, and kind of share a little bit about where I'm going to be going. So all of you might already know me, but my name is Summer Craig, and I am a business coach for small business owners in my 9-to-5, and I also am a jewelry designer. I have a website, summercraigjewelry.com, and in the last couple of years I've been trying to figure out, okay, what is this next chapter going to look like? Because I love my full-time job. I love helping business owners and their teams with their systems and marketing and sales and all of that. So, but I knew that there was something else that I was itching to do. And so the discovery process is what I want to share with you today. So one thing is, have any of you ever taken like the Myers-Briggs or, oh my gosh, I've done so many. There's the Myers-Briggs, the Strength Finder 2.0. I'm kind of crazy with assessments here. So you got the Strength Finder 2.0. Took that one a couple of times, once before I became an agent, trying to figure out my strengths and then my team's strengths, which was very helpful to play to each other's strengths. There's another one, it's 16personalities.com. So our team that I work on, we did that one, which is great because it's free and it's kind of like a Myers-Briggs. If you've ever heard of Myers-Briggs, it's like that. Although the Myers-Briggs is like $50. So there's Myers-Briggs, there's 16 personalities. Then there's like an emotional intelligence. One of my very favorites that I just did was howtofascinate.com. And in all of these assessments, it really tells you, okay, based on your personality, what should you be doing for a career, let's say. And so a lot of them is just based on your personality, what would lend itself well, based on your personality and your strengths, what should you be doing, where should you focus your energies, what brings you down, like what takes away energy, so be aware of, what would take your energy away. But one that I just did lately was How to Fascinate. And this one is awesome because it tells you how people see you in the world. And it has like your 2 archetypes. So number 1, I'm innovative, so innovation. And then number 2 is passion. And that's how maybe people perceive me. People see me as innovative and passionate. So that was really eye-opening for me and it said I'm unorthodox, I'm bold, I'm creative, artistic. And the thing that really grabbed my attention was unorthodox. I do not like to be in a box. I don't want to be placed in a box. I'm very outside of the box thinking. If you zig, I'm going to zag. Like, it's just kind of like very creative, very bold ideas. If anybody has ever had a conversation with where they're heading in their life, and I'm like, ooh, have you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought about that? So I have ideas like crazy. But anyway, that one really helped me because I was thinking I was going insane. Like any of you guys that have talked to me and are close with me and we're kind of, talking about what things I'm into. I'm all over the place from all these different things that I want to accomplish or have ideas around. But I am getting clarity. So today, that quote that I shared with you about coming alive, what brings you the most energy. If you recall, a couple of years ago, I did these interviews with women who are being the change in the world. Like, they're women who I really looked up to, who came from a upbringing or, had a past where it was a struggle. And I honored them with a set of jewelry, and I wanted them to share their story. So that was my first attempt to kind of do something more with my jewelry business, because what I was doing wasn't really bringing me a lot of energy, if you will. And so in having those interviews and those video interviews, I was alive, you guys. I was like, oh my gosh, these stories are so impactful for me. And then just sharing those and having, these women touch my heart and hoping that they were touching other people's hearts. And like, no matter what past you come from, you're always able to achieve greatness if you just take action and listen to the call. So these women, shared their story about how they just took action. They just followed their heart with great risk, but it came with a lot of rewards. And so in those moments, I think I interviewed like 4 women. And, and then a year went by and I hadn't done those interviews in a long time, but I knew that there was something there. So in this whole thing of coming alive, and I'm rambling a little bit because I'm totally impromptu here, but bear with me. And I'm not going to pay attention to the comments, but I'll read them later. So in looking at, the strengths that I have when it comes to, and I really encourage all of you guys. So studying who you are is so important because it allows you to kind of appreciate, the things that you think, like, because all of these ideas and being innovative, I drive myself crazy sometimes because my mind goes a mile a minute. But there's a lot of things that could come with that gift. So helping somebody who doesn't really have that gift of innovative ideas, strategy, coming up with things that they hadn't thought about to maybe grow their business, just to how to bring energy into a team. That's what I do during the day in my 9-to-5 is like working close with business owners and helping them kind of see what they might not see as far as what's possible, or just, re-engaging their team and helping elevate their teams. But yeah, just like passion, I have a lot of passion. I have a lot of innovative ideas. And so those are my gifts. So I love helping people to see what's possible. I love sharing stories of positivity. That was the one thing in the Myers-Briggs that it said, is that you love to highlight the positive. Yes, that is like where I come alive. I love to highlight the positive, specifically stories of transformation. There was a book that I read, and I highly encourage any of you to check it out. It's called You Be You. And that book, out of all the books that I've read over the last couple of years in the personal development space, that was one of my very favorites, because that is the whole thing where I feel alive, is seeing stories of transformation. And that book was about just all kinds of transformation that the author had and how that process went. And then because of his transformation, he was able to help a lot of others. He was in the health space. He transformed his life with his body and his health. And then he was able to help a lot of other people do the same. And so he's kind of talking about the road that he went through to help other people change their lives from his own transformation. Anyway, so what makes you come alive? So just think about, what is it? And so I'm pivoting, you guys. Like, I'm pivoting. I'm going to be doing the jewelry design, but it's not going to be my focus this year. I'm pivoting. I am shifting. I'm starting a new chapter to where I want to be around people who totally inspire me, who have been transformed, basically. So they have a story that inspires me that I feel like we need to share this with the world. So I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews with successful business people or just ordinary people. It doesn't matter, but they have something that's worth sharing, that brings me a lot of energy. Just, this weekend we heard an awesome woman, Mo Eason, who had a very inspirational story where she shifted her life, and she kind of talked about her before and after. So a lot of what I'm going to be doing like interviews of people's before and afters, like what was their defining moment of when they transformed or when they made a change or they pivoted, and what lessons can we learn from where they've been to where they are. So if you think about like I've done a lot of study on my mindset. I've had a lot of issues with believing in myself, and they call it imposter syndrome. Well, there's already people that are doing that. And, I'm fighting through this whole like mind over matter thing, like just believing and taking action on what brings you energy. And so I'm really focused on that. Like what brings me energy, just focus. And then through that action, you kind of figure it out, right? So I'll be talking about people who have changed their mindset. So if any of you guys know of awesome people that are, ordinary people, or, they've come from difficulty, now they're having a thriving, happy, joyful life. What is their backstory? How could they inspire us to maybe shift the way that we're thinking or shift what we're doing with what we believe is possible? And so the theme for the people that I want to talk to is like uncovering what's possible. They had a new chapter, they had a transformation, they had something that shifted for them, and they're now helping people. They've now solved a great problem for humanity. So when I talked to those women in the past with the jewelry, where I honored them with my jewelry, it was called Some Are Special. These women, they either started a nonprofit, they just give back in some way. It could be just an ordinary person who had like this epiphany moment, and I think too, where do I want to be at the end of my life? Like when I'm at age 85, hopefully I live longer. When I'm at the end of the road, let's say, and I look back on my life, I want to say, that was a job well done. Like I went ahead and followed my heart. I took risks and I conquered the fear, and I went with what brought me joy, where I felt like I was coming alive. And I don't know if any of you have ever done this exercise, but I was encouraged to do it 6 months or so ago, where I wrote my own eulogy, like what I wanted people to be saying about me and my legacy. And that was really powerful, because a lot of what I was saying was, I wanted to help inspire people to think that anything was possible if they just put their mind to it and they followed their heart and they went with what made them come alive. And I want to eventually turn this jewelry business. I've had God whispers for like the last 2 years, maybe even longer, where God's whispered to me on what I should be doing with the jewelry business. And so in the right time in the future, I plan to use that business as like a social enterprise business. So I'm going to be interviewing business owners who have created a social enterprise business. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but like here in town, we have a restaurant called Deviate. So I hope to interview the guy, I think his name is Rob, behind Deviate. So to find out, well, what was your turning point? Like what made you create Deviate? So basically it's a restaurant where they give second chances. Like all the employees that work in Deviate have come from, I believe they were incarcerated, so they have like a second chance at at making a great living. They serve people in this restaurant, and they've been recognized nationally. But there's other businesses too. Like there's a jewelry designer in Austin, Texas, who created a business where she has hired women in poverty to make her jewelry designs, She initially started out in a third world country, like somewhere in Africa where they were making the jewelry there. And then she, you know, set up a shop right in Austin. And so, you know, there's different possibilities with that down the road. But I'm going to be interviewing people who have done something positive with their business, turning it into a social enterprise. So anyway, so what am I saying? So I'm saying that the two most important times of your life, the two most important days, is the day that you're born and the day that you find out why. So I've been searching why. Like, why am I here? What is my purpose? And it's in these self-assessments that have really helped me. It's in like where I feel energized, like looking and reviewing my life. Okay, where did I feel the most energy? In what moments? And it's every time I sit in church and like there's a testimonial and this person was totally like, they were an alcoholic and then something like changed and then they got, you know, and then they broke through and then now they're helping other people that are in that struggle. I mean, those stories, that's what I want to highlight. Like, I just think that we have so much to learn from everybody's life story. And so I want to bring those stories in and kind of catalog them and encourage us to push play. And every time we push play, we grab some great lesson for our own life. So yeah. And then there's a guy, Evan Carmichael, who really inspires me. Like when I look at, okay, what I want to become, I want to become more of kind of his genre. Like what he does is he takes all these collections of videos online, like Oprah. If you Google Evan Carmichael and Oprah Winfrey, he has like 5 or so different video clips where it's Evan's top 10 rules for success, and they're his top 10s that he captured from all of Oprah's speeches that she's given. He'll just do clips, and so it's like Oprah's top 10 rules for success, but it's done with Evan's editing. So I think of like these stories that I'll pull in, and eventually, you know, I'll edit them down into like top 10 or top 5 rules of success. And when I look at success, you guys, I'm looking at like happiness, like what brings us joy and happiness, not the monetary success that we all kind of like, oh, if we're really, you know, thriving financially, we're successful. Well, you and I both know that that's not always the case, right? There's plenty of people that have thought that and they're at the top of their career and now they're like, well, that didn't bring me happiness. Now what? You know, so I'm talking about like what brings us joy, what brings us peace, what brings us true happiness. So those pivoting stories, those like nuggets of wisdom of that. So anyway, I'm rambling because I didn't have really anything planned as far as an outline. I just wanted it to come from my heart. But so this year is going to be pretty awesome. So what I'm planning to do is not just the interviews, but I am starting a consulting coaching business. I hired a coach to help me become a really great coach and consultant for small business owners and their team. And I really love helping business owners in my 9-to-5, and I want to take that to the next level and work with just, you know, inspiring businesses to me. Help them from anywhere from, you know, the online business with my jewelry business. I've gained a lot of knowledge and tips there that I can help with. So if somebody wants to go online, I can help them from branding to messaging. If they already have a brick and mortar with a team, I can help them with how do you, you know, rev up and get more leads and manage those leads and market yourself. Video marketing is a huge thing. So I'm going to help train people on how to get in front of the video to really elevate their brand. So there's just a lot of things that I'm going to be doing. But if you want to check out, I have a very like basic website right now. It's summercraig.com. I've changed my jewelry website to summercraigjewelry.com. If you're interested and you have any questions that you want to ask, please don't mind to just DM me and ask me what kind of coaching and consulting I offer. But it's honed in with small businesses. I would love to help social enterprise businesses, even nonprofits, with team leadership, communication, marketing, branding, that kind of stuff. Just kind of using all of the things and the gifts that the experience that I've had over the last 20 years working for, with State Farm insurance agents and their teams, and then in my jewelry business with marketing. But okay, this is a lot longer than I planned to go. But again, I just want to challenge all of you. If you've not really studied who you are and what your gifts are and what your strengths, that really does help. Those assessments really help to uncover, but then also to appreciate, your gifts, because I was going crazy with all of these different things. I'm getting clarity. I'm focusing on my vision, and I'm going with where I feel like I'm most alive. What makes you really angry, and what are you totally obsessed with? Those are the other two things. So after you gather all your strengths through these assessments, then think about what really makes you mad about what you see in the world, and then what do you get really obsessed with? Like, you can spend hours and hours and hours doing, and you don't even know that the time's passed. Okay? So for me, it's like I can go hours and hours and hours learning from people who have been transformed. So stories of transformation. I love reading about people who have like overcome total hardships, and like are making something beautiful in their life. That I'm obsessed with. And personal development, I'm obsessed with. Spiritual development, obsessed with. And then what really angers me is seeing children and women, whoever, just like not believing in themselves and not believing that they can achieve greatness by using their gifts. So, teaching people to believe in themselves and to know what's possible, to know that they're here on this earth for a reason. It's up to them to trust and to learn about what that is. And then I would love to like help, bridge the gaps of where they're at today to what they can become. So I guess that's a little bit of life coaching probably. But anyway, so yeah, that's all I have. So what makes you come alive? What makes you angry? What do you get obsessed with? Go do your assessments. DM me and let me know what assessments you did and if I can like help you at all with figuring out, if you're at this place of, I'm not feeling it, like I'm not energized like I want to be. I'm not, this jewelry business, it's great and all, but like I need something different. And so I'm going for it. So, yeah, that's it for now, you guys. But please send me a note. Let me know if this was crazy talk or if it inspired you at all. And I'm going to be getting better about not being so rambly. But anyway, enough for now, and I will check in later. If you guys want to go to Summer Craig Consulting, there's nothing really out there right now, but I did create a page, and I do plan to, as I'm kind of thinking through what that really is going to look like, I'm going to plan to teach a few things from that page. So if you're interested in that, just go over there and like and follow so that when I go live over there, you'll get any of my updates from there. All right, you guys, have a great, happy Sunday, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.